Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2302 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. In today's Wisdom Nugget, I'll guide you through the vast landscapes of biblical wisdom. It's a pleasure to have you join me on this journey. Today, our exploration takes us into the profound insights of Proverbs chapter 23, verses 26 through 35 from the New Living Translation. As we delve into these verses, let's seek the timeless wisdom that can guide us in guarding our hearts, avoiding the snares of excessive indulgence, and recognizing the importance of self-control. So without further delay, it's time to head out and dive into the wisdom of Proverbs. Verse 26, "My son, give me your heart. May your eyes take delight in following my ways." This verse expresses a desire for a deep and committed connection, urging us to align our hearts and desires with the way of wisdom. How can we give our hearts fully to the way of wisdom and find delight in following God's path? We need to give our hearts the way of wisdom by recognizing the invitation to give our hearts fully to the way of wisdom. Choose to align your desires with God's principles, finding delight in following His path. Cultivate a heart that is surrendered to the guidance of God, and understanding that true fulfillment comes from a life lived in harmony with His ways. Now let's turn our attention to verses 27 and 28. A prostitute is a dangerous trap. A promiscuous woman is as dangerous as falling into a narrow well. She hides and waits like a robber, eager to make more men unfaithful. These verses caution us against the dangers of immoral relationships and the destructive consequences that they can bring. How can we guard our hearts against the snares of immoral relationships and maintain faithfulness? Well, we need to guard our hearts against these immoral relationships by recognizing the dangers and the potential consequences they bring. Choose to guard your heart against the snares of such relationships. Understand the importance of faithfulness and integrity. Cultivate a commitment to moral purity, avoiding situations that could lead to compromise, and staying true to your values of fidelity and honor. Verses 29 and 30 continue the reflections on the perils of excessive indulgence. Who has anguish? Who has sorrow? Who is always fighting? Who is always complaining? Who has unnecessary bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? These verses paint vivid pictures of the consequences of excessive indulgence and the toll it takes on a person's well-being. How can we avoid these perils of excessive indulgence and the accompanying anguish and sorrow? We need to avoid the perils of excessive indulgence by recognizing the toll that they take on our well-being. Choose to avoid habits and behaviors that lead to anguish, sorrow, and physical harm. Cultivate a life of moderation and self-control, understanding that the true joy and the fulfillment come from a balanced and disciplined living. Now let's explore verse 31. "Don't gaze at the wine, seeing how red it is, how it sparkles in a cup, how smoothly it goes down." This verse offers us a cautionary message of the lure of alcohol and the potential dangers of excessive consumption. How can we approach the consumption of alcohol with wisdom and self-control? We need to approach alcohol with wisdom and self-control by recognizing the allure and the potentials of excessive alcohol consumption. Choose to approach alcohol with wisdom and self-control, understanding its impact on your well-being. Cultivate a mindset that values moderation, making informed and responsible choices, and prioritizing the physical and mental health of yourself. Verse 32 and 33 continue the reflection on the consequences of excessive alcohol consumption. "In the end, it bites like a poisonous snake. It stings like a viper. You will see hallucinations. You will say crazy things." These verses vividly describe the harmful effects of excessive alcohol consumption, comparing it to a bite of a poisonous snake. How can we heed the warnings against the destructive consequences of excessive alcohol intake? We must heed the warnings against destructive consequences by recognizing the vivid warnings about the harmful effects and excessive alcohol consumption. Choose to heed these warnings. Understand the potential consequences for your physical and mental well-being. Cultivate a lifestyle that values sobriety and self-control, avoiding situations that may lead to excessive drinking, and prioritize a healthy and balanced approach to life. Now let's explore verse 34. "You will stagger like a sailor tossed at sea, clinging to a swaying mast." This verse uses a vivid metaphor to depict the disoriented and instability that accompany the effects of excessive drinking. How can we avoid the staggering and disoriented effects of excessive indulgence? We need to avoid these indulgences by recognizing a vivid metaphor illustrating the disorienting effects of excessive indulgence. Choose to avoid behaviors and habits that lead to staggering and instability. Cultivate a lifestyle characterized by balance, self-control, and sobriety, ensuring that you navigate life with clarity and purpose. And finally, let's explore verse 35. You will say, "They hit me, but I didn't feel it. I didn't even know when they beat me up. When will I awake so I can look for another drink?" This verse paints a grim picture of the numbness and desperation accompanying a life enslaved by excessive indulgences. How can we break free from the enslavement of excessive indulgences and find a path to restoration? Well, we can break free from the enslavement of excessive indulgences by recognizing the desperate and numbing effects that they have on our lives. Choose to break free from this enslavement, seeking restoration and healing. Cultivate a mindset that values sobriety, seeking support, and guidance to overcome the chains of addiction. Embrace a path of recovery that leads to a renewed and purposeful life. And there you have it, my friends. Insights from Proverbs chapter 23, verses 26 through 35. These verses offer us timeless wisdom for guarding our hearts, avoiding the snares of excessive indulgences, and recognizing the importance of self-control. As we continue on our journey through the pages of the Bible, remember that the wisdom that it offers is our guiding light in navigating the complexities of life. Until the next time, keep seeking God's wisdom and make it part of your daily trek. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and to come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.